Salut tout le monde. Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to do a soft spoken. I'm going to do some reading and a little chit chat. I have Princess Di here today. I was talking to a friend today or yesterday, and I was saying what an inspiration actually Princess Di is. She did so much charitable work, and she went through a lot. She went through a divorce with the royal family, and she wanted to bring a lot of good to the world, and she was so graceful. And I just seen it there today, so I said, you know what, something is calling me to her. And I picked up a couple other magazines, some French ones. So I got Mythologique Nordique, because my roots are Eastern European, and European descent, basically, with mixed with Aboriginal from the land here. So I wanted to spend some time looking at my roots. It's quite challenging being, Canadian from the American continent and looking for your roots. I'll use I statements, looking for my roots. I'm from northern part of Eastern Canada, somewhat north. I mean, obviously there's really north in Canada. So my childhood and my family here has been here for a couple of generations on both sides. I think it goes back to maybe 8 generations on one side and probably 6 on the other, something like that. Yeah, and so there's definitely like the diaspora of Canada, Europeans. There's a big disconnect, after you've been here for a couple generations, quite a few generations. You've just been here so long, and if you're, often families have been, marrying from other similar cultures, other European cultures, then and focusing more on the immediate life here in Canada and establishing and surviving and staying alive and staying healthy and having your kids stay healthy and alive and fed and dressed here in the new country. So with new plants and new trees and new flowers, different than the ones you're from your home country. So after many generations, there's a bit of a loss of access to family in mother countries, as well as mythology and culture and knowledge from that culture, especially with the onset of Christianity, and that kind of there's good pros and cons, but definitely like a purple loosestrife or a zebra mussel just kind of like takes over and wipes everything else out. So harder, even more so, to go back to pre-Christianity, medieval times, like the Middle Ages, I guess, to 1900s, 1800s, 1500s. I think people first started coming here in the 1500s, going back to BC. So what are the traditions? Clothing, food, culture, symbols, beliefs. And I don't think it's very easy to even, for historians, I think a lot is debated from language and gods. There's not. I think there's this very strongly debated, the information that is out there for the Anglo-Saxon, let's say, gods, or Germanic. So anyways, I'm on that journey, and I can give some examples of my Canadian culture, which is my grandmother picking blueberries and us eating blueberry pancakes in the summertime, and my mother teaching me and my sisters and cousins at our cottage when we were children by the river how to pick the needles from the pine trees and to make a necklace out of it, and how to fish and how to hook a worm. So as well as my French Canadian and English Canadian and mixture of my roots. It's a journey definitely to try to learn and practice what is mine, what comes from my ancestry, and that will only deepen my appreciation for others' ancestry and stories, as well, knowing my own. So I'm gonna, and I also got Histoire de l'Occident, Choc et Métamorphose, Le Monde, History magazine. Actually, they all look fantastic, all three magazines today. So there's a couple minutes left. I'm just gonna start to read a little bit from this guy on this rainy Saturday. It looks like it's going to rain for the next 10 days, so I've got my reading material. Okay, so I'm just going to start from the front of the edition. Okay, mythologique nordique, Nordic mythology, une force naturelle, a natural force. This is written by rédacteur en chef Bertrand O'Doy. L'âge des Vikings, environ 800 à 1100, exerce sur notre imaginaire une fascination grandissante. La littérature et le cinéma se faisaient l'écho des peuples de Jord. On imagine aisément ces fières guerres paysannes, pirates et commerçantes écoutèrent les chants mythologiques des skaldes, poètes, des divinités et des héros. Des origines des 9 mondes, choc du feu et de la glace, au Ragnarok fatal, apocalypse de laquelle où tente à renaître selon la prophétie du russe Loki. Les géants et les dieux se mesurent continuellement sous le regard des hommes. Sans Odin, le créateur tout-puissant qui affronta le colosse primordial et des géants de glace, et sans Thor, notre protecteur, que serions-nous devenir dans le chaos maintenu par les terribles créatures? Mais une autre question s'impose. Ce fabuleux récit entouré des mystères de la magie rend-il bien compte de l'imaginaire de la religion païenne nordique? Rien n'est moins sûr. Les textes sont tardifs et ont été révisés d'un point de vue chrétien. Les deux grands mythographes scandinaves d'Islandais Snorri Sturluson, auteur de l'état dit en prose, et de danois saxo grammaticus avec le geste danorum. Les ont écrits vers 1200 de leur interprétation christiana, grecque ou latina. Ils ont récupéré des bons vieux mythes qu'ils n'entendent généralement pas. Rappel feu Régis Boyer. À y voir de plus près selon ce fait connaisseur des langues, littérature et civilisation scandinave, le Ragnarok rassemble à l'apocalypse chrétienne les Valkyries aux anges, Odin à Mercure, Baldr à Bal, le chien-loup, finir à Cerbère, et ainsi de suite. Pour autant de charme opère plus que jamais, surtout depuis leur redécouverte par les romantiques au XIXe siècle, qui ont fait de la mythologie nordique un culte vivante de grandes forces naturelles à l'ombre de l'art primordial Brésil aujourd'hui en péril. Fanir du maudite peinture anonyme. This is looks this picture they have. It kind of looks like they're calling him Pan, Feifan, Fafnir. Anyways, he's in like fur, and this is looking like a Loch Ness monster, a dragon, some mythology. Yeah. I'm just gonna read the table of content because it looks pretty good. Sommaire. La mythologie nordique. So you have the first section. You have sources from the Nordic mythology, cosmology, divinity, creatures, religion, and then we're going to go on the next section, actuel, which is news. So I guess they're going to talk about expositions, books, and documentaries. À l'origine, something about the origin. A god. We're going to talk about Mars, I guess. I'm not sure. And Venus. Then they're going to talk about horses, creatures, art to see, some symbols and objects, and some cartoons. And I guess I guess it's set up in history and then news, like actual present day. But this looks pretty. I bought it because we're talking about elves, we're talking about I was in brownies, I was in Girl Guides when I was young, but we did learn about things like fairies and brownies and our duties that we learned through that, helping others. And I forgot that was linked to a European organization. And I think I'm gonna, a lot of the things that I read about hopefully will jog some memories of growing up. And like this magazine is so well done. It was definitely pricey. It was like francs. It was like $12.90. I think this one was $12.99. This one wasn't bad. $12.99. This one was $25. This was a bit of an investment. This is kind of like a book. But what's fun about reading, in my opinion, about present day history is that all the historians are constantly discussing, debating, and coming up with their own theories. And so this may have more of the most recent expressions of that or critiques. So that is a good place to start from in some ways. So that's gonna be like if they have like all sorts of maps. Colonizers, Spanish, Crusades, Roman Empire. Anyway, Le Monde Populaire. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be cool. I think. I hope. Depends if the authors are diverse. I hope. We'll see. And then Diana. This one was about another 15. It was the bill for 3 was like $65. I've never spent so much in one magazine shot. It's close, but not quite. It's a special commemorative edition for 60 years as an icon. So, you know, they've got all sorts of pictures of Princess Diana. And then her children. Maybe I'll just, well, here, chapter 2, solo act, single independent. Diana commanded the stage as never before. Okay, my dears, I'm wishing you beautiful moments coming to you.